Welcome to Cyborg 86. And yes, you're looking at some more Jiabaile crawlers. I'm still fascinated with these. And here's my latest. Today we're going to put this $3 toy body on our Jiabaile crawler. I'll tell you where I got it. And while we're at it, we'll take a look inside. This is the monster truck version. But before that, we're going to go ahead and crawl it just a little bit so you can see what this thing looks like. Right now, I'll say I like this thing, don't love it. Could be better because it's just sitting a little higher than I'd like. I kept the interior in so it looked a little more realistic, but that meant the body was a little higher. But notice you can see the lights, both front and rear show up. I do like that. I did not try to put any LED lights in there, in the emergency lights, but I think it could be done. I think the stock electronics could be hacked, along with a tiny circuit board and some LEDs. By the way, there's Charlie, upset in the truck. This mod didn't really improve the performance, didn't lower the weight or the center of gravity, but it was all about looks. Plus, it was very inexpensive, real easy to do, and it's reversible, so I could put it back together as the original truck if I want. In the meantime, the original truck body will serve as a crush car. I think what would really make this thing pop is if I could add some speed to it, which I've seen other people do. So I found these little vehicles in Menards in the toy bin for $2.99 each, so I grabbed a couple. I've already got the body off, but here's what it looked like originally. Little momentum car with some gears in there that when you give it a shove, it just kind of keeps going. The truck is built differently than the Jeep clone, but it still comes apart in the same way. You get the body off by pressing the clamps out from the frame. Not too hard. Just remember to hold on to the frame, not the axle, so you don't pull anything off that you don't intend to. This little toy came apart pretty easily. It had some snap fits and then some screws. And here I'm just test fitting the body. And you can see I could make it fit pretty low without the interior. That's actually probably too low. And here I'll test fit it with the interior. And now it's like crazy high. What I ended up with was kind of in the middle. I just used this jeweler's saw to cut part of it down, make clearance. Then I finished it off with a hobby knife. I did go ahead and disconnect the wires so I wouldn't yank on them, but some people have said when they unplug these that the connectors break or the wire pulls loose, so if you do that, just be careful. You could try it without too, just be careful again not to yank on the wires and pull them loose that way. The circuitry is held in by screws like the Jeep clone, but instead of having just one circuit board, this one has three, and they're connected by wires. So you got the rear charging area in the back, then the main circuit board, and then you have wires going to the LED lights in the front. This should allow for some adjustability, like making it fit into this little body and making the LED lights line up front and in the rear. So I like that about this truck. At this point, I still hadn't decided whether to leave the interior in or not. So one more test now that I got the electronics in there. And we'll try the interior. I decided to put it in, and so I'm going to cut this thing down. And if you remember on the Jeep clone, it actually has a little cover for the battery. This one did not. Instead, the battery is held on by servo tape. So we're going to be able to move that pretty easily too. In fact, I'm going to end up putting that up under the nose of the body, put it up front, and adjust the weight forward. Big win there. Here I'm just unscrewing the mount that the battery sticks to. Now after the disassembly, the LED lights still work. So looks like I didn't break anything. That's always good news too. By the way, the wheel nuts are kind of an odd size, and these hex drivers aren't usually included in sets. So if you need one, here's the size info. I was thinking of putting this little cat mod body on here. I think it'd go better on the 3601. Plus, I thought I'd make a video about how to put a body on here that you don't need a 3D printer for. It turned out that this little battery would fit very neatly up under the nose of this little rig. And so that's what I'm doing here. I think it's a great spot. Really happy it worked out this way. Here I'm slipping in the LED lights, and they just fit right in there between the support bars on this. And now we enter the realm of total hack job. I really wanted to fasten this together in a way that I could easily take it apart, and in a way that I didn't have to design mounts and print them up, because like I said, not everybody has a 3D printer. And so here, I'm just hot gluing that in. If I want to get it out, need a little patience, I can pick that hot glue back out. At this point, I noticed a little extra material that I need to remove in order to fit the main circuit board in there better. So, a little hobby knife work and a little side cutter work, and we'll get it to fit. Got the clearance all done now, including for the back, so I'm going to go ahead and hot glue that back charger in. And after a little more test fitting and so on, I decided the main circuit board was ready to go into. It hooks to the bottom of the interior, which I had cut down earlier with the jeweler's saw. When gluing it, I was just being careful to avoid any of them little lines for the circuitry that are on there, because they might be fragile. And look, still works. Up front and up rear. I do like that about this body. Just wish I'd set it a little lower. I did end up cutting a little clearance for the wheels, just to make sure I wouldn't have any trouble. Now it's time to hook up the wires again. 3-point to the servo and the 2-point to the motor. A little fiddly, but got it done. One more quick test before I mount the body, just to make sure I didn't break anything, and we're happy. And now to make this the ultimate hack job, I went ahead and hot glued the body in the chassis. There's the fancy body mount, just some hot glue. Didn't get the camera centered in the best, but I was mainly trying to not glue my fingers. Very important. If you decide to do something like this, be mindful at the on-off switch and the charge port. Make sure it hangs over the back axle far enough that you can actually plug in the charge port. I didn't think about that, and I came perilously close to not being able to charge it. I can just barely do it though, so I lucked out. Oh, and check this out. I had this leftover body from the K5 design process, and it fit right on the original toy. So I just glued that on with some Seagay. Now my grandkids will have a toy to play with, and I won't feel guilty about it. Well, I hope you found this interesting. If you did, and you like these little crawlers and other little bigger scale crawlers, now would be a great time to subscribe. And happy crawling.